Worst QB to win a Super Bowl in NFL history. Rich Gannon. No, I'm not Rich Gannon. Terry Bradshaw. But who obviously comes to mind is Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 50. That was the worst performance I've ever seen from a quarterback, bro. It was disgusting.
Super Bowl. This one, right? Well, yeah, he did. But so did this guy. Both are Peyton Manning. But 2015.
Just nasty. I didn't mean to say it shouldn't have for my fault.
Peyton Manning was not the same quarterback that had the Hall of Fame career you see here. And today I'm going to argue 2015 Manning was the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl in NFL history. What you saying, guys? It's Zane here. Let's get into the video. A 5-time MVP, holder of numerous NFL records, a first ballot Hall of Famer. By 2015, Manning was one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. But in 2015, Manning would deviate from this spectacular career and, in my opinion, had the worst season of any quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. Now, when discussing this topic, several quarterbacks probably come to mind. When I first decided to make the video, I was going to argue for Trent Dilfer, and many others have argued that case well. Now, Dilfer is definitely up there with one of the worst quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl, if you're measuring by overall career. If we look at the specific season they won though, Manning was worse in the regular season than Dilfer by any measure. Fewer touchdowns, more picks, lower passer rating. Now, Manning typically sat in the top 30% of quarterbacks, but in 2015, he was in the bottom 25%. What's surprising is that just 1 year prior, he completed 66% of his passes, threw for over 4,700 yards and 39 touchdowns, and his total QBR was the third best in the NFL. But towards the end of that season, in 2014, you could see his body slowly decline. The man struggled to take off his own shoes. Now, the stats for 2015 are, well, pretty self-evident. They're not good. But the eye test also backed up the horrible season. His passes were wobbly and lacked any power in them. It was obvious his arm strength was rapidly declining, and that's because his legs had completely given out. Thanks to several injuries, he couldn't step into his throws or generate any power with his lower body, which led to these dud throws. Now, Peyton Manning's strong suit was always his football mind, with his ability to read defenses like a complex computer algorithm. But when he began to accumulate these injuries, it's like his body couldn't translate the instructions being given by his mind. Even if he made the right play and made the right throw, these balls were just not arriving on target or on time. That was clear from the first game. Manning didn't even throw a touchdown. The only Broncos touchdown came on a defensive score, and somehow they came out with a victory.
One of the craziest defenses of all time, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Manning would continue to struggle throughout the season. The lowest point came on a cold November afternoon against the Kansas City Chiefs in week.
Like they're 7-1 with no offense. This is crazy.
Week 10. Manning started the game with an interception. The following possession, he was sacked and fumbled, and he finished the game with 35 yards, 4 interceptions, completed one first.
Good God.
Down, and finished with his lowest ever completion percentage. His passer rating for the game was literally 0. You can't get any worse than that, right? Maybe they should make it go negative, just to emphasize how bad he played. The same game he broke the all-time passing record, he was benched before the fourth quarter. Yes, Peyton Manning was benched for the first time in his career for Brock Osweiler, but in fairness, it was later revealed he was playing with a torn plantar fascia in his foot. Hope I pronounced that right.
Plantar fascia.
Something like that.
Manning would remain inactive until the final game of the season. Led by their elite defense, Osweiler managed to do just enough to win 4 of their next 6 games. But sitting at 11-4, the Broncos needed to win to secure home field advantage. Given how the season had gone, with all the close calls, playing in Denver would be nice. They would set an NFL record of 11 games won by 7 points or fewer. The Broncos offense would commit 5 turnovers this game. After the 5th one, head coach Gary Kubiak thought it was time to get Manning back in there after almost 2 months. The time off seemed to serve him well, because Manning orchestrated an 8-play, 80-yard drive for a 14-13 lead. After some more back and forth, Manning continued to manage the game, avoid mistakes, and secured a 27-20 victory that clinched the number 1 seed for the Broncos. That would mark an end to a historically awful season. His regular season passer rating would
We wasn't even that good, bro. Chill. It's not our fault, man. We was rebuilding.
End up being the 4th lowest of a Super Bowl winning.
They got 27 seconds to tie the game. All right, we're going to see.
Quarterback. Even Trent Dilfer managed an 80.9 rating, and adjusting for error makes it even more embarrassing. When you look at the era Bradshaw, Starr and Unitas were playing in, it's not even comparable. This is the pre-Mel Blount rule era, so offense was much harder. But how did a quarterback
He just slammed him on top of his cranium
that almost led the league in interceptions, despite missing 6 games, managed to win the Super Bowl? You could say Manning had been along for the ride for the season. The defense was historic. Number 1 in total defense, number 1 in passing defense, number 1 in sacks, and 3rd against the run. In the playoffs, they beat 3 of the top 5 scoring offenses, holding them to an average of 15 points a game. There's actually a striking resemblance between the 2000 Ravens and the 2015 Broncos. Both teams were led by their defense, and both teams had quarterbacks that held them back. DVOA shows how good a team is by checking every play and comparing it to what an average team would do in the same spot. Simply put, good offense equals higher DVOA and a good defense equals lower DVOA. The 2000 Ravens offensive DVOA was minus 8.1% and the defensive DVOA was a minus 23.8%. The 2015 Broncos had an offensive DVOA of minus 8.8% and a defensive DVOA of minus 25.8%. You could also argue Manning was more dangerous to the Broncos' success than Dilfer, particularly in the regular season, and that's because of all the interceptions. The Broncos' turnover differential was minus 4, which was ranked 20th in the league. The Ravens were plus 23, the best in the league. So this reliance on the defense, of course, continued into the playoffs. In the divisional round against the Steelers, Manning did what he needed to do. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he also finished with no turnovers. The pivotal play came on a Steelers fumble.
What's up, Cammy?
In the fourth quarter, the Broncos
Did you finally back?
capitalized. They scored a late touchdown, although that was mostly running, and they'd ultimately win the game. Against the Patriots, Manning got the best of Brady
I want chocolate chip cookies. Go to the store.
this time. Well, it was
Can I say something? It's mean. Ain't nothing mean in here.
really the Broncos defense that got the best of Brady. After 2 early touchdown passes,
I got attacked by a baby owl. What did you do to make that owl that mad? I don't think people just get attacked by owls. Like, I ain't never seen somebody be like, ooh, be on the lookout for that owl attack. Them owls out there attacking. What did you do? Why did you try to pick up an owl? They don't need to be picked up. They can fly.
Broncos rode the defense, who sacked Brady 4 times and intercepted him twice. They also held the Patriots to their lowest third down conversion rate during the Brady-Belichick era. But the Broncos offense could not get anything going after the early scores, so the Patriots managed to claw their way back into the game.
Your dog got its wing. Okay, well, leave your dog alone. Take your dog back in the house. He is a menace to society.
It came down to a potential 2-point conversion that would tie the game in the final seconds. Manning held his breath as Brady's pass was swatted away by the defense. Denver managed to hang in there 20-18. Time for the Super Bowl. The Panthers' dynamic offense set to face Denver's dominant defense. Surely
He wouldn't come in the house. So you watched the slaughter.
Manning had been saving his best for last, right? Oh, okay, maybe not. His 56.6 passer rating was the second worst for a winning quarterback.
I have no clue, Cammy. I don't know anything about owls other than they necks do 360s.
In the Super Bowl. The defense was able to halt any momentum by the 2015 NFL MVP Cam Newton, with 7 sacks and 13 hits on him. The most pivotal plays came with a Von Miller strip sack to start the game and one to pretty much end the game, which was
Why would my dog get a leash? Why the fuck is there an owl in your backyard? That's the real question.
Recovered on the 4-yard line and led to an easy touchdown. Well, at least Manning
This game was just crazy.
completed a 2-point conversion throw after one of those touchdowns, right? That counts for something. His final stat line was, well, to be expected. But despite that and the 194 yards of total offense, they won 24-10 thanks to 4 turnovers. Manning completed a historic postseason run, just not in a good way. 2 touchdowns, both in the AFC title game, 1 interception, and 593 passing yards in 3 games. This season, of course, doesn't diminish anything Manning did in his career. If anything, it adds an interesting or bizarre chapter to his story.
This nigga was ass. This is one of the worst quarterback seasons of all time.
After carrying so many teams for so long with his offense, it was his team that carried him to the end this time.